It's time for the AFC Championship, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Tennessee. It's the Steelers and the Titans on Sunday night.
Just a tick under 70,000 packed in here at Nissan Stadium. Not a seat to be had as playoff football and certainly playoff fever have descended upon the Music City of Nashville, Tennessee. Straight ahead, a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it should be a great one, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a look here at their signal caller, the fifth-year quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him a gain of 5. Back to throw. Gonzalez. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Harold Landry collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They're going for it. This is Harris, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
I don't believe that was called right here in the moment. I believe this was called during practice this week, that he was going to decide to be aggressive even on his own side of the field.
Just, you mean because it's the opening drive? Maybe they had this scripted?
I think that he just talked about it with his team and said, listen, I'm confident in you. If we end up in this situation, we'll go for it early just to set a tone in this game.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
2nd and 5. Out to his left. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, first and goal. They'll run with Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now Gonzalez operating from the gun. And he's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now third and goal. Harris is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. They'll be let out by their rookie quarterback.
And rightly so. He's been the big story leading up to this AFC Championship game because, as we all know, no rookie's ever won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. Heck, no rookie's ever started a Super Bowl. So he... rewrite the history books here, and if he wins this one, he'll get his own book.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup.
Right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
2nd and 4. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. Back deep, Marquez Callaway. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
That's complete to his tight end flyer move. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Gonzalez now from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called, and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. What a run there. I mean, you've got speed, elusiveness, escapability, all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just past the 35. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
They run with Harris. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 50 yards on the ground in this first half with a Super Bowl berth on the line.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are one game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got, and that's a heck of a run right there.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Titans now just about ready to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's to the tight end, Wiley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Tally that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. They'll look to throw here.
Open man downfield is Ridley.
Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley. 60 yards.
And the Titans have got it back to within a score. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make our score 14-7. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris.
They'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now. Now a toss play. It's Harris. Get a yard to the 35.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Now Callaway on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Harris running straight ahead. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They go play action here on 1st down.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try not.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Harold Landry, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. They'll try and run with Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Steelers add 6 to their lead. So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 21-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. They'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll set up a throw. Short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Oh, the return is Callaway. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Operating from the gun, Gonzalez. That's swung out wide to Harris. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
A little football 101 there.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
The field stands.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gonzalez. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
But first, let's look back to the NFC Championship game held earlier today. And it is the San Francisco 49ers who are heading back to the Super Bowl as they await the winner of this AFC Championship game. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Pollard again. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
2nd and 11. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
The Steelers offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Here we go.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention. Better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
122 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this AFC title game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run again with Harris. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On the move to his left.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. 14 yards. And the Steelers continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Well, Charles, fans around here, they were already talking Super Bowl. They've made plans. You just can't look past anybody in this league, especially this deep into the playoffs.
You would think that every year that message would sink in, and it feels like every year we see something like this, especially the way they're handling them. All right, you didn't expect this part to happen, but when you're playing this deep in the playoffs, every team's dangerous.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24.
Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And down a couple yards shy of the 30. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready up. Come on, set.
And Boyd in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd down, Pollard again. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that, and guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7, rolling to his left. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. On the give, this is Harris. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Again, it's Harris. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Titans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Going to run the toss here to Harris.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
163 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Steelers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So it's a high 5 for that one. His 5th rushing touchdown of the game as he draws ever nearer to potentially making a run at an NFL record.
Extra point now by Boswell.
Well, the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick
That
block,
penalty is
you got to go
declined.
to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 36. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. AFC Championship tilt, third quarter of play. This is second and 10. Option play. Here's Pollard. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The AFC champion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far. As they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Here's second and 10. Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Titans are going to have first and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Pollard will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Pollard again. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tony Pollard taking it in from a yard out. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here. And we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And that's the kind of run you get when you know Super Bowl berth is in sight. They've got the lead. It's the second half. All those weeks of wear and tear in your body just go away. He's running with purpose now, and that's a heck of a run.
They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Holding, offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
To throw is Gonzalez. Off the play fake. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now here's another carry for Harris. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. The offense on third down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that now 6 rushing touchdowns for him. And that ties him with Alvin Kamara, who on Christmas Day of 2020 also went for 6 touchdowns. And this is quickly turning into one of the great individual performances in NFL history. Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. He'll drop to throw. On the slant, DeAndre Hopkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Back to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll run for it with Pollard. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. Looking to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The Steelers are AFC champs once again as we say thanks for watching and good night.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.